There's one skill that separates marriages that thrive from marriages that barely survive. It's not romance. It's not conflict resolution. It's not even good communication techniques. It's something much more fundamental that most husbands never learn. And without it, every conversation becomes a potential minefield. You can read every marriage book, attend every workshop, try every technique. But if you don't master this one foundational skill, you'll keep hitting the same walls over and over again. Don't worry if you can't guess what it is right now. By the end of this video, I'll break it down into a simple framework you can start using immediately. Here's what I see happening in struggling marriages. The husband tries to communicate better. He works on listening skills. He reads about love languages. He attempts to be more romantic. But despite all his efforts, his wife still says things like, "You don't understand me," or "You're not really hearing me." He gets frustrated because he's genuinely trying, and she gets frustrated because she still doesn't feel truly seen or known by her husband. The missing skill isn't about what you say or how you say it. It's about how you show up emotionally in your marriage. It's called emotional regulation, and it's the foundation that makes every other communication skill possible. When you can stay emotionally steady during difficult conversations, when you can remain calm when she's upset, when you can be present without getting triggered by her emotions, that's when everything else starts to work. Most men were never taught how to regulate their emotions in relationships. You learned how to control emotions in business, in crisis situations, even in sports. But marriage requires a different kind of emotional skill. It's not about suppressing your feelings or staying detached. It's about staying connected to yourself and to her, even when things get intense. Here's what emotional regulation looks like in practice. She comes to you upset about something. Maybe it's about you. Maybe it's about work. Maybe it's about the kids. Your natural response might be to get defensive, to fix the problem, or to shut down emotionally. But when you're emotionally regulated, you can stay present with her emotion without being overwhelmed by it. You can listen to her criticism without immediately defending yourself. You can be with her in her frustration without trying to make it go away. The framework I promised you has 3 parts. First is self-awareness. Before you can regulate your emotions, you need to recognize when they're getting triggered. Notice when your heart rate increases, when your jaw tightens, when you feel the urge to interrupt or walk away. These are your early warning signs that you're about to react instead of respond. Second is the pause. When you feel those trigger signals, give yourself a moment before you speak. Take a breath. Remind yourself that her emotions are not an attack on you. They're information about her experience. This pause is where you choose your response instead of just reacting from your triggered state. Third is conscious response. Instead of defending, fixing, or withdrawing, you stay emotionally present. You might say something like, "I can see you're really upset about this. Help me understand what's happening for you." You're not agreeing or disagreeing with her content. You're simply staying connected to her emotional experience. Here's why this skill changes everything. When your wife feels like you can handle her emotions without falling apart, getting angry, or shutting down, she feels safe being authentic with you. She stops walking on eggshells around your reactions. She doesn't have to manage her emotions to protect your emotions. That's when real intimacy becomes possible. Most relationship problems aren't actually about the surface issues couples fight about. They're about emotional safety. When you're emotionally regulated, you create safety. When you're reactive, defensive, or emotionally unavailable, you create distance. Your wife needs to know that she can bring her full self to you, the happy parts, the frustrated parts, the scared parts, and you'll still be steady. The actionable insight you can use today is this. The next time your wife is emotional about something, focus on staying calm and curious instead of getting defensive or trying to solve it. Say to yourself, "Her emotion is not about me. It's information about her experience. My job is to stay present and listen." This one shift in your internal dialogue can prevent most arguments from escalating. When you master emotional regulation, several things happen. Arguments become shorter because you're not adding fuel to the fire with your reactions. She starts coming to you more often with problems because she trusts you can handle them. The overall emotional temperature of your marriage becomes calmer because she's not constantly worried about triggering your defensiveness or withdrawal. This isn't about becoming emotionless or passive. Emotionally regulated men are actually more attractive to their wives because they demonstrate strength under pressure. They can disagree without being disagreeable. They can set boundaries without being harsh. They can be vulnerable without being weak. Your wife doesn't need you to be perfect, but she does need you to be emotionally stable. She needs to know that when life gets hard, when she's struggling, when conflicts arise, you're not going to add to the chaos with your own emotional reactivity. You're going to be her steady presence in the storm. This skill takes practice. You'll still get triggered sometimes. You'll still react instead of respond. But each time you catch yourself and choose regulation over reaction, you're building the emotional muscle that will transform your marriage. You're becoming the kind of man your wife can trust with her heart. Comment below and let me know what you are currently struggling with in your communications with your wife. Click the link in the first comment or check my bio to discover an ebook that can help improve your communication with your wife.